Hello YouTube, this is Dr. Ronald W. Satz, founder and chair of the International Society of Unified Science and president of Transpower Corporation, a commercial and custom software manufacturing and certified systems engineering company. I work as a theoretical physicist and as a systems and mechanical engineer. I also work as a theoretical economist and as an operations researcher. Speaking of operations research, I've been demonstrating my very first commercial software package published in 1982. It's called Optimal Manager, 47 program units to optimize your business. It still works perfectly well on 32-bit and 64-bit Windows. Of course, with 64-bit Windows, you have to use DOSBox, which is what I'm using here. There's an issue or two with DOSBox, which we'll get into, but generally speaking, it works perfectly fine. Okay, so this is the sign-on screen here. You just press enter. There are four modules to Optimal Manager. There's Optimal Product Investment, Optimal Product Manufacture, Optimal Product Distribution, and Optimal Product Pricing and Advertising. We're still in Module 1, Optimal Product Investment, so I'll just input I. And now we're on Program Unit 8. The previous 7 program units I've covered in previous screencasts. So I type in 8. This is optimal quantity of various products to make. Would you like to see the program unit description? We'll say yes. By the way, Optimal Manager used to ship with a printed manual. We're now selling it for an additional $95. The price of the software itself has been reduced from $4.95 all the way down to $95. So honestly, you really probably don't need the printed manual. You can just look at the description here and just look at my sample runs of the program. So it's a pretty big price reduction from $495, which is what it was in 1982, down to $95 now. So we just send you a Dropbox link, and that's all there is to it. In the old days, I had to ship 9 diskettes and the manual and everything else, so it's so much easier now. All right, so let's read the description here. Optimal quantity of products to make. This program unit determines the optimal quantity of products to make, given these inputs: the number of products, the profit contribution of each product, the number of resources used in the products, the quantity of each resource available, and the amount of each resource used in each unit of each product. The program unit output consists of the optimal quantity of each product to make, the total profit expected, and the quantity of each resource to be used. Integer programming, specifically Gomdry's cutting plane method, is used. So I'm going to hit C to continue. And yes, we do want to look at a disk file. We want to look at a sample run. So we'll just choose File 1. Of course, you would put in your own information. This is a very simple problem here, but it just illustrates, integer programming. Your particular problem might be a lot more complicated, but there should be no problem with Optimal Manager solving it. Okay, so the report title, whatever you want. I have optimal quantity to make. I have management analyst is me, company, date, the product names, in this case widgets 1 and 2. So how many different products are you considering making? 2 products, that's widgets 1 and 2, and we have 2 different resources used in the product. So that's a real simple deal. You can actually calculate this by hand, but it just illustrates integer programming. Again, unlike a spreadsheet, Optimal Manager contains all the equations and algorithms inside the program, so you don't have to do any programming. Just make sure your inputs are correct, and the program will give you the correct outputs. So at A to accept, I'll hit E to edit. Now you notice this is offset here. That's because DOSBox doesn't have a config.sys file, so I can't put in device equal and cibm.sys to line everything up on the input. But have no fear, everything looks correct on the output, and the output always reproduces the input, so it's not really an issue. And you can always look at the bottom prompt. The bottom prompt in the screen will tell you exactly what you're supposed to put in. So in this case, it's what is the profit contribution in dollars, whatever currency you're using, a product 1 must be less than 100. So that's product 1, that's profit contribution, and then profit contribution product 2. So hit A to accept, E to edit. Units of resource 1, that's 17. Units of resource 2 are 10. Accept. And here's the biggie. How many units of resource 1 are used in the unit of product 1? How many units of resource 1 are used in the unit of product 2? That would be 5 here. How many units of resource 2 are used in the unit of product 1? That's 3. And how many units of resource 2 are used in the unit of product 2? 2. So always read the bottom prompt. Now at this point you could save your data and then compute. You can go back to screen 1 if you think you've made a mistake, or just compute. We're just going to compute, of course. That's what you normally put in. And you can send the output to the screen only or to the printer and screen. So we'll just go to the screen. And choose screen length or continuous printing. Incidentally, you would choose continuous printing if you just wanted to get to the bottom quickly and rerun the program. But ordinarily, you would just hit screen length. So now in the output, you can see it's got all the input here. So we have the input-output coefficients, we have the profit contribution, we have the quantity available of each resource, and then here we have the optimal quantity of product 1 to make is 2, and the optimal quantity of product 2 to make is also 2. And there's the profit right there. And the optimal total profit, in this case, $6. Or if you're using dollars to mean hundreds or thousands, let's say thousands, you think 6,000. You know, whatever it is. And then optimal quantity of each resource 1, you use 14, and resource 2, you use 10. Okay? So that's what integer programming is all about. That's a really easy example. You can even check it out by hand if you want, but you can obviously do much, much more complicated examples than this. So at the bottom of the screen, you can rerun the program unit, you can exit to the module menu, or you can print results again. I'm just going to hit E to exit. So we're back to the module menu. So I'd like to thank you for your attention. If you stick with me through all 47 program units of Optimal Manager, you will have a very good understanding of applied operations research and management science. So even if you're not interested in the mathematics behind operations research management science, you can still make use of them in an applied program like this. It's much, much more advanced than any spreadsheet could possibly be. And as you can see, the user interface is so nice and easy. It's a pleasure to run. All right. Well, thanks for your attention, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.